at noon. The St. Louis Police Department will be holding a press conference to have more information on what they know about that shooting. I believe there may be some information as well about the Clayton woman who was abducted and murdered. The suspect has been arrested and charged in that case. But KMOX reporter Stuart McMillan will be at that press conference. He'll join us right after the press conference to let us know what police know and how they've updated the public.
Yeah, two very tragic situations. So it'll be good to find out what they know about both of them. And of course, we're hoping for the best for the kid who was shot. I mean, it sounds random. I don't know why that would happen. I know that we've talked in the past about the highway sniper.
Yeah.
Remember from the 80s, it was going around, and I don't think this is anything like that, but awful stuff does happen. So we're hoping for the best for Colin Brown.
Yeah, and what we know is it was random gunfire on 55. Police have not used the phrase rolling gun battle because we had heard about, I think it was even like a couple of years ago. My goodness, I felt like we heard about rolling gun battles on 270 and 170 far too often. That phrase has not been used, just that it was a random shooting. Our friend Michael Kelly of Hancock and Kelly, he was driving on 270 several years ago, and he heard a bang, bang, and his windows blew out. As it turned out, it was a BB gun, so maybe some kids driving and shooting into a car. But how terrifying that is! I don't know how you wouldn't drive off the road. It would be so shocking. But here's what I do know, Ranj, is that the hockey community is incredibly tight, and just if you're connected to that area, the schools, all the Catholic boys schools are so tight anyway. And then the hockey world is even smaller than that. So whether you're a hockey player at CBC or DeSmet or Chaminade or SLU, I know that members of the hockey world are putting a hockey stick out, on their front porch to symbolize support for Colin Brown. And again, 16 years old, and waiting to hear the update. Again, we know as of last night, critical but stable. So we will give you any update with what we know. But it's such a tight-knit community, and it's something like this really sends reverberations through the community. I know counselors are available at the school. There was a hockey game scheduled between Seckman and CBC on Sunday night. That was obviously canceled after the shooting on Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know how you could play during a time like that.
Yeah. So we'll wait to find out more information about that. And also later on in the 11 o'clock hour, more and more information is coming about these E. coli cases.
Oh boy, again?
Yeah, more than
again?
one. Well, I think it's just it's the slow drip. It's continuing to percolate that more than 100 E. coli cases and at least 5 lawsuits have been filed. And this is around Andre's Banquet and Catering. And Andre's Banquets and Catering is pushing back, saying, no, this is not on us. We've been complying. They tested the lettuce. The health department tested the lettuce, and the lettuce tested negative for E. coli, but I don't believe they've tested anything else regarding where the E. coli source could be originating. So we will talk with Jory Lange. He's a food safety attorney with Lange Law Firm, and find out more about what in the world is going on and why they can't track the source and why they only tested the lettuce. And it seems like more questions.
Place that it happens, right?
Yeah, because
it's usually stuff like the lettuce.
That's what it was a few years ago with Chipotle. Remember when people were getting food poisoning at Chipotle? It was the lettuce. I think with the packaged meats, that's usually Listeria. That's what it was with Boar's Head.
Oh, is that what it is?
What?
You're like an expert on food poisoning.
No, because I was talking.
Because you're so afraid of it.
I'm terrified of food poisoning. But no, the reason why, because people are like, oh, E. coli, and they're like, wasn't that Boar's Head? But no, Boar's Head was Listeria.
Oh, okay.
And remember, Shigella? Don't forget Shigella.
Hey, I can't forget Shigella.
So you gotta know your food poisoning.
I know my food poisoning because I'm associated with you now.
Okay, First of all,
This is what you brought to me.
You would kind of be like this anyway. I thought this is one of the few areas that we had something in common, was just hyper paranoia about germs and getting sick.
Actually, kind of a little bit. Only when it comes to touching food and grossness and stuff like that. People not washing their hands.
Ugh.
Just things like that.
I can't do salad bars.
I'll tell you, there's a place I like to. I'm not going to name it.
Can you tell us what it rhymes with?
No, I can't. Because it doesn't rhyme with anything else. But I like going there.
Okay.
And the food is really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I trust the people who sometimes are serving the food to be the cleanest, but it's just so good I get it anyway.
And you've been fine.
I've been fine.
I used to love the Olive Bar. That would be at fine food purveyors.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. One time I was getting the olives from the Olive Bar, and I felt something metal at the bottom.
It was the spoon.
In fact, there were 2 spoons, which means people with their grimy hands holding the spoon had dropped the spoon, grabbed another spoon, and all of that hand juice was just soaking in the olive container.
Oh. Come on.
It's making me sick. It's making me sick. Speaking of food, because I really like the back-to-back conversation of E. coli and Thanksgiving meals. I feel like that flows really well. Are you a ham or turkey guy on Thanksgiving? What is Thanksgiving?
Turkey, I guess, but I don't care. I can go either way.
Have you ever had ham on Thanksgiving?
I'm sure I have, but I think it's mostly been turkey. But I could totally. I'm not one of these people who's like, I have to have turkey on Thanksgiving. I mean,
see, this is shocking to me. I thought, I've never heard of ham on Thanksgiving until I met Mason Jar. And he said, we always did ham on Thanksgiving. Like, nobody does ham on Thanksgiving. It's turkey.
Well, apparently he does.
Well, he does. And it's a whole thing. Is it a Kansas City thing? We do want to hear from you about the ham and turkey, because this is blowing my mind. I know Christmas ham. Don't people get ham on Christmas?
Well, of course they get the Christmas ham.
But no one ever gets a Thanksgiving ham.
I know people who do, for some reason on Christmas, they do king crab legs.
When you say you know some people, is this like one aunt?
2. I know 2 different people who get king crab legs.
Really?
And nobody in my and they're not in my family.
I've never heard of king crab. Do they have a small family? You can't do king crab legs for 30 people.
One of the families, I don't know how big they are. The other one is a regular size family.
Regular size.
They're not. It's not small. It's not huge. It's just a regular size family.
A regular sized family, right in the middle, the Goldilocks of families. Well, I forgot to give you our text or call number. 314-436-7900. 314-436-7900. Text or call if you have a preference, ham or turkey. And we want to hear from you. Also, the Odyssey app has the voice message feature. So leave us a voice message. Send Ranj some well wishes. Maybe that's what we should do. Because, see, this guy was sick.
Yeah.
And then the Bears went to overtime. And then they lost in the most boring overtime of all times.
Uh-huh.
It was a dumb overtime. Only the Bears could make overtime boring and lose. And they did both. And then Ranj, it hurt his immune system. He was so down.
What did I say about them?
You said they're an autoimmune disease.
They are.
Yeah. And you can hear him. He sounds horrible.
You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. It's innate. Like you're born with it.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
That's what you are sick now. And so if you have any well wishes that you want to text Ranj or leave a voice message, we'd love to hear it, because he's very down. You can hear it in his voice. He sounds despondent. He's kind of hard to listen to, honestly. So,
but look at how courteous I am.
I know. Why are you so kind?
Because I stayed home so that you wouldn't get sick and Tyler wouldn't get sick. And
I'm very grateful.
I care about other people.
I'm very grateful for you, Ranj. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know who else I'm grateful for? I'm grateful for the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, because I wouldn't be able to see you right now on our live stream if I didn't go see Dr. Birdie. I know you see Dr. Malhotra. And all kidding aside, now's a great time to see the ophthalmology associates. Your yearly eye exam is covered by most insurance plans, and you might want to sneak in an appointment for one of your kids who's in from college, right? It's hard to schedule those appointments because they're gone all the time. If they're in over the holidays, go ahead and make that appointment so they can get their eyes checked, not only for good vision, right? Make sure your prescription is updated for your contacts and your glasses, but also to know that your annual eye exam can actually save your life. Health conditions can be discovered early and be more treatable with your complete eye exam, whether it's high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. It's actually pretty amazing. Call them today, 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, or youridoc.com.
Thanksgiving is a special time to gather with loved ones as we enjoy delicious food and create lasting memories. Let's take a moment to appreciate each other. Wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving from your friends at Odyssey and Under Law Injury Lawyers.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home matters, especially in this ever-changing market. We all know a few realtors, but I only recommend one. This is Debbie Monterey, and for the past several years, I've gotten to know Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different, guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed-to price, or Gloria will buy it herself. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle, and that's exactly what you get with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. For example, after 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheeler family's home. With no more time to waste, they decided to call Gloria Liu. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of listing price because Gloria already had the buyers. The agent you choose to sell your home really matters. 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through hims.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
In the know, on the go. Trust KMOX for local news that impacts St. Louis and the region. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you on a Monday. I mentioned the press conference, the St. Louis Police Department press conference that will be taking place at noon today, that will have any updated information on the CBC hockey player who was shot on Saturday on a random shooting on Interstate 55 as he and his dad were driving home. I also want to update everyone on that story, if you saw the story about the Clayton woman who was abducted from her home in Clayton and then shot and left in an alley to die, a horrific story. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department said a man has been arrested and he has been charged in the kidnapping and death of Michelle Hampton. Anwan Mosby, 43 years old. He has 20 charges against him, which include first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, 2 counts of robbery, 8 counts of armed criminal action, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. Now, police right now said investigators do believe the suspect and victim knew each other, but the department has not elaborated on what the relationship might be. If any more information comes out about that in the press conference at noon today, we will be hearing from KMOX reporter Stuart McMillan on that. So, yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, 2 tragic stories.
That's sort of what they said last week, though, was that her brother said they thought that she probably knew, or they didn't think it was random. At least to them, they didn't think it was random. The Clayton police didn't think it was random, so they must have known something at the time.
Yeah, and again, we don't know anything else other than that, but I'm glad they have the suspect in custody. So, all right, a few minutes ago, we did talk about the ham versus turkey conversation on Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving week. Ranj got sick on Thanksgiving week because of the Bears, but in his kindness and empathy, he stayed home, so he didn't get all of us sick.
Right.
He's a vector of disease right now.
Right.
So we appreciate
Unlike
that.
a child.
Yes. So we do have.
I would like to say, Amy.
Yeah.
I feel like the office we work in is the sickest office I've ever been to.
You would be correct.
In my life.
You know what it is? It is the equivalent of a preschool.
Out and about. Oh.
It's you know how like preschools always have like kids are getting sick and like, oh, my kid's in preschool, so now we're sick all the time. We are a preschool. We are preschool level of disease.
I think it must be, and maybe you're the one who said this, but we have these intrepid reporters who are out and about on the scene all the time,
and they don't have time to wash their hands.
Well, no, it's not. No,
Oh.
Yes, it's not. Come on.
Well, I thought maybe like they got a store. Sean Malone, have you never said goodbye to Sean Malone? He is halfway down the street.
No. He's always at the sink. He is always in the kitchen at the sink.
Maybe that's why he's always rushing out of his interviews, because he's got to go wash his hand.
He's always washing something. So I know he's clean, but I think it's just because they're out and about. They're dealing with people. They're dealing with the sickos. The sickos.
They are the people's press.
They're right.
Unlike us, we're in a little petri dish here.
So they bring their germs back into the station, and then we get sick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got Bridget on the line. Let's go to Bridget. I think she's calling about ham or turkey. Go ahead, Bridget. Oop. Or hold on 1 second, Bridget.
Bridget is choked on the ham.
No, she hasn't choked on the ham. Okay. All right, we might have to. Oh, here we go. Bridget, are you there?
Nope.
No.
Oh, hi. Can I speak to Amy, please? I don't know.
What time does the Cardinals game start?
Well, what time?
We do get a lot of those. All right, let's go to Tom. Let's try Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah. Okay. For us, it's ham, turkey, and also smoked brisket, and then on New Year's, it's got to be cornbread, black-eyed peas, ham, and scallions.
Wait a minute. So on Thanksgiving, you have turkey, ham, and brisket?
And Christmas also.
That's a house.
You guys are doing pretty well for yourselves. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good tradition. Do you have a lot of people, Tom?
Yeah, we've got a good-sized crew. We have to eat in 2 different rooms.
That's awesome.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Ron, you need to go to Tom's house. Thank you, Tom, for calling.
They've got everything. Right. I've been told, my uncle sent me a text and said we're also having lamb. We were just talking about lamb the other day. Yeah. I told you, we used to.
Okay.
We used to have lamb all the time.
Interesting.
When I was a kid.
Okay, so turkey and lamb, or just lamb?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
he said also, so I guess there's more.
Well, Ranji's Uncle Ranji, let us know if you're having
It's
lamb
not a
and
ro-
turkey.
Yeah.
lamb and ham.
Lamb and ham. What are you
Okay.
guys having? Lamb and ham.
Sounds like our new morning show. He's Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Mark Scores. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Everyone's talking about the DGS.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Here's something on the Dave Glover Show you want to talk about?
I am currently listening to the Dave Glover Show on his topic about nursing homes. No matter how nice a nursing home looks on the outside, if you don't put people in there that care, or if you don't start paying people enough, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside.
Got something to say?
Because the inside is still going to be terrible.
Use the Odyssey app, click the microphone, and leave your voice recording for the Dave Glover Show. Weekdays beginning at 1 on KMOX.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
At 10:30, we've got clouds and 58 degrees downtown at the Arch. A top retailer is dealing with financial irregularities. Correspondent Jim Krasula has that.
Macy's is delaying the release of its fiscal third quarter earnings results after discovering an accounting-related issue involving more than $150 million. It dealt with small package delivery expenses between late 2021 and the beginning of this month. The company says the money was intentionally hidden by an employee. The retailer did say its third quarter sales fell more than 2%.
Macy's says it had more than $4 billion in delivery expenses during that time. Road work on 70 East at Route TW. All the lanes are open there. They've cleared some road work on 270 South at Dorset that had the right shoulder closed. This afternoon, breezy and turning colder with a sprinkle or two. Temperatures falling into the 40s. Breezy this evening, much colder overnight. Lows 25 in the coldest suburbs to 31 downtown at the Arch. And for tomorrow, sunshine, clouds, chilly, high 47. Sponsored by Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling. If you're bothered by allergies or concerned about having healthy air quality, call Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling. They carry a complete line of humidifiers, air scrubbers, and electronic air cleaners. Go to ComfortSolutionsSTL.com. We've got clouds and 58 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
When you want to make junk disappear, leave it where it is. I've got a partner who lives down the street from you, and we're anxious to come to your rescue. It doesn't matter what we have to climb over, walk through, or move out of the way. All you have to do is point.
We make space for possibilities.
We'll find a new family who'll love the items that still have value, even if it is sentimental value.
There's someone out there who will love it, and we'll find them.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
You're going to be amazed at how fast we get there.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews for Beast Plumbing. And when it comes to the quality of your water, it is so important, not just for the taste, but for when you wash your clothes or even your hair or your skin. And bad water can affect all of your appliances. Call them today at 314-500-LEAK. That's Beast Plumbing.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, Download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. And follow your local news station.
Police officers and firefighters get in the ring for the 37th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses presented by Stiefel. It's the night before Thanksgiving at the Enterprise Center. Get your tickets now at stlgunsandhoses.com.
Broadcasting from the Underlaw Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Thanks, Bob. We're here with Doug the Elf, asking about the hottest holiday gifts of the year. Doug, what's on your list?
Yeah, we're getting Missouri lottery scratchers and draw games. We came all the way from the North Pole.
They don't have lottery tickets there?
Now, Missouri lottery tickets, they created a new millionaire every 8.1 days last year. Woohoo! I just won!
But I thought that was a gift.
Well, yeah, for me.
You heard it here first. Scratchers and draw games from the Missouri Lottery make great gifts for the holidays. Play it forward and play responsibly. Back to you in the studio.
Hey, it's Brady Cook, quarterback at Mizzou, for Macadoodle's Garden Prairie, where wine tastings happen all day and friends are made when the door opens. Macadoodles has everything from fan-favorite California cabs to interesting wines from the old world. A wide selection of bourbon and tequila, and basically every spirit you can imagine. Whether you need to stock up the liquor cabinet for your next party or you're having a cozy night in with a bottle of wine, Macadoodles has you covered. The friendliest staff in town. Come visit Macadoodles on Bryan Road, just north of the Page Extension in St. Charles County.
Hi, my name is Christina Straight, the owner of Straight Realty, and I'm asking you, what do you want in a realtor? Do you want experience? I've been a broker for over 21 years. Do you want to know how much I've sold? I've sold over $500 million, yes, $1 billion with a B, in sales. Do you want value? I now list properties for only 2%. So, if you're looking for all these things and want the best, then call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
St. Louis City SC and Enterprise Mobility are honoring individuals who uplift St. Louis. Nominations are open for the Enterprise Exceptional Neighbor Program. Visit stlcitysc.com/exceptional neighbor to nominate a deserving friend or coworker today.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It's men's Billikens basketball action tonight as they face Quinnipiac. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7. Hear the game here on your home for Billikens basketball, KMOX.
Yeah, Andy, when I woke up Wednesday morning, there was no inclination to make a coaching change, and then when Jim got let go in Boston, it certainly was someone I've respected, someone I admired, someone I felt had all the attributes to be a long-term coach for the Blues, and it started down that process. So this was more of an opportunity to get someone of Jim's caliber than anything else.
That is Blues general manager Doug Armstrong talking about hiring former Boston Bruins coach Jim Montgomery to take the helm after he let Drew Bannister go after just 22 games into his first season as the team's full-time head coach. And I think it just goes to show that at least in the NHL, man, it seems like hockey coaches are disposable and come and go, and the same names get rotated through. But for some more information about the firing of Drew Bannister and hiring of Jim Montgomery is Lou Korak. He's a St. Louis Blues writer for NHL.com and the Hockey News. How you doing, Lou?
I'm good, Amy. How are you?
We're doing pretty well. Good to talk to you. It's been a while, but a lot of things have been shaken up over at Enterprise Center. I know there were some rumors, some speculation about Jim Montgomery joining the Blues in some fashion after he was fired from the Boston Bruins. But I don't know that anybody anticipated it happening this quickly.
Well, I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all, to be honest with you, because Jim Montgomery is a hot commodity around the league. I mean, let's face it. Soon as the Boston Bruins cut ties, I mean, you're talking about cutting ties with a coach that had a .715 winning percentage. I didn't realize guys with that kind of a track record would be on the chopping block, but apparently that's the state of the NHL these days. I guess it's a playoffs-oriented driven business, but when Jim Montgomery was let go, the pieces just aligned. I mean, assistant coach here for 2 years. The team was really good then, from 2020 to 22. A lot of success special teams wise. He had the pulse of a lot of the veteran guys on this team, and even the younger guys at that time, like Robert Thomas had a breakout year when Jim Montgomery was an assistant. Jordan Kyrou, career high in assists and points under Jim Montgomery. Pavel Buchnevich, career highs in goals, assists, points, plus minus. I mean, these are all guys that respected him. And he and Doug Armstrong have kept a relationship this whole time. And I think from Jim Montgomery's standpoint, the Blues gave him a second chance after the way things ended for him in Dallas personally. And at the time, who knew that anybody was going to give him a chance at all? So those are all things that just kind of aligned together. And I think for me, it wasn't a question of if, it was a question of when.
Oh, 1 second, Lou. We've got Ranji joining us, and okay, it will. We're going to work on getting Ranji back. He's also on this interview, but Jim Montgomery's caliber is something that we've talked about. My goodness, when he was with Dallas, when he was with Boston. But Craig Berube also had that high caliber, and we've mentioned if Boston lets him go. What about fans who say, well, if he couldn't do it in Boston, why do we think he could do it here?
It's a good question. I mean, but, you live and you learn and you grow. Playoffs are a hard animal. You saw that. We all saw it back in 2019. This isn't an easy thing to go through. I mean, you have to have a lot of things fall in place. It doesn't mean you were a failure. It just means that you didn't get a lucky break. You didn't get the right execution at the right time. I mean, there's so many things that fall into place. It doesn't mean that just because, in the 2 years that the Bruins went to the playoffs, they got eliminated in round one, they got eliminated in round two. I mean, heck, look at the great teams that Ken Hitchcock had here, and he was only able to get the Blues as far as the conference finals once. It's a very tough thing to do. It's a grind. You have to have a lot of things fall into place and align for yourself in order to be a Stanley Cup champion. And, I think he got them prepared as best as he could to get as far as they could with the lineup they had. And, it just goes to show you he was 8, 9, and 3. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the greatest start, but it's a what have you, it's almost like it's a what have you done for me lately league, Yeah. You tend to forget about some of the good. I mean, he had the greatest record in NHL history just 2 years ago, and that's a hard thing to do over 65 wins in 82 games. I mean, think about that. So, but again, he's got a lot of good relationships with players here. You just hope that the right voice and the right teachings and the right execution can kind of get these guys going. And they also have a vision for him with some of their prospects down the road. They feel like he's very good and can make an impact on young players, and that's what they're looking for here as they go through this retool.
How much of what's been going on do you think is coaching?
Oh, hi, Chris. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, we got him back. Working now, Lou.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question first? Your posts about the Chicago Bears, they can depress a newborn baby.
I know.
Is it that bad?
Are you kidding?
Lou, I'm so glad you brought up Chris Ranji's Twitter during Bears losses, which is every week, obviously.
I had to.
Golden. They can depress a newborn baby.
Lou, they were 4-2, and we're talking about what seed they might get, and they've lost 5 in a row. What do you mean? Is it that bad?
Well, but they've been. I mean, that was a competitive game yesterday.
Oh,
no?
We're not doing moral victories. Come on.
I'm sorry,
game.
Chris. What was your question about the Blues?
I don't know. This isn't Pee Wee hockey. I don't care about competitive games. Win a damn game.
He's someone who's traumatized by Eberflus, so he wants to know how much is coaching.
How much is coaching? Because I know what it's like in football.
I'm sorry to completely sidetrack you here. That wasn't my intention, but I mean, it was just served up on a platter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, no, I really do wonder. I mean, how much of the Blues issues have been coaching?
Another good question. Look, I don't want to downplay anything that Drew Bannister did here. I mean, he came into a tough situation. I mean, think about it. You replace the Stanley Cup champion, a guy that's going to be pretty much on Mount Rushmore in St. Louis for the rest of his life. Okay. You're the guy that replaced him. So he came into a tough situation at the time, went 30, 19, and 5. So, okay, you made some progression. And I think that's why Doug Armstrong was able to reward him with a 2-year extension. Well, number one, Jim Montgomery wasn't available. But I think all along this was I think if Drew Bannister they could have been 22-0-0 to start this year. And I still think he would have made this move for Jim Montgomery. I mean, that's just the way it is. So you can look at it from a coaching perspective and just look at the numbers. Offensively, they're not very good. Let's just face it. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, near the bottom of the league in goals per game, goals scored, power play efficiency, shots on goal per game. I don't know if you guys saw or heard the Pavel Buchnevich interview after the game Saturday, but that was pretty telling to me. When you got a guy talking about we don't work on offense enough, we need to work on this offense. And it was a very frustrated voice. It was almost a telltale to me that something's got to change here, because this is coming from a veteran player, and you got to feel like he's not the only one that felt this way. So while there were some things that helped enhance some of this team as far as from a coaching perspective, there was also some things that were kind of holding them back. So it's kind of a give or take thing. And again, unfortunately, I just think that with the way the game went Saturday, I think this would have happened if they would have lost that game last Thursday at home against San Jose. Yeah. I really think it would have happened then. But they won that game. Yes, you won it in a shootout, but it wasn't the greatest look either. And then you follow it up and score 1 goal against the Island. You scored 1 or fewer goals in 7 of your 22 games. Think about that. That's a hard way to live in the NHL, and something had to give, and the pieces just aligned, and here we are.
Lou, when you said in Buchnevich's interview, because I did not hear that specific interview, you said we don't work on offense enough. Is he saying we don't work on offense enough, like effort, or is he literally saying they don't practice it enough?
They don't practice it enough, and shame on me for not noticing something like that, for being at practice all the time. I mean, the way he worded it is we work on defense, but we don't work on the offense. And the numbers just show it. I mean, again, 7 of 22 games, you've scored 1 or fewer goals. 13 of your 22 games, you've scored 2 or fewer. So you're asking your goalies basically, I don't want to say to stand on your head, but he even mentioned it. We're having to ask our goalies to make 50 saves a night and try to win 2-1, 1-0 hockey games. And it's impossible to live in this league in that kind of a atmosphere and an environment. And, their record speaks for itself. I mean, they're 9-12-1 right now. They're in the bottom tier of the league, and they've got some work to do here if they want to try to save and salvage this season. But I think with the commitment that they've made to Jim Montgomery for 5 years just goes to show you he wants to help this group grow right now, but they're really looking into the future, and they're not deviating away from that 3 to 4 year plan that they want to be a relevant team again.
Lou, as you mentioned, you're in the locker room every day. You're at practice every day. And we talk about coaches needing to get the ear of the locker room and buy-in. Well, knowing how things ended with Berube and Jordan Kyrou's controversial statements afterwards, do you think Jim Montgomery is going to have that ear the moment he walks in, or is he going to have to earn it over time?
No, I think he's already got it. And he even mentioned that this morning in his first comments that he was getting text messages from Blues players after he had gotten fired from Boston. That's just the kind of respect that they have for him. I mean, what he's got going for him right now is basically what I haven't looked at the numbers yet. I'm going to look it up here after I'm done with you guys. He's coached half of the guys on this roster. So he's already got a front foot going forward. He's got to learn some of the newer guys that, he hasn't had any coaching dealings with. But he's had his, Braden Shens, the Buchneviches, the Kyrous, the Thomases. These are your higher impact, Brandon Sods, Colton Parayko, Justin Falk. He coached all these guys. So he's already got a leg up in that regard. So this isn't like you're bringing in somebody new. that's got to get reacclimated with an entire roster. So I think he's going to have that going for him here. And the players, again, I've spoken to a lot of them in the time that he's been gone, and even in the time that he was here, and they had nothing but high praise for him. So I think this is going to be as smooth a transition as you can possibly imagine with the guys that you need to make impact on this team right now.
He is Lou Korak, St. Louis Blues writer for NHL.com and the Hockey News. Lou, thanks so much. Nice to talk to you.
You too, Amy. Chris, hang in there. Things are going to get better. Trust me.
Hey, I can't. How am I can't. All right. See, I can't trust anybody anymore.
I love it. I had to. Yeah. I'm like, man, this. I just wanted to come over and give you a hug, man.
Yeah, I could use a lot of those.
Well, don't do it now. He's sick.
No, I'm contagious now.
Yeah.
So don't.
I love it, guys. I love it. Keep up the good work.
We'll talk to you soon, Lou. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Lou Korak, Blues writer for NHL.com and the Hockey News.
Look what the Blues did. They're 22 games through the season, so that's about a quarter of the
Mm-hmm.
way. They knew they had to make a change, and they did it. That's what a good team does. They recognize they need to make a change, and they execute the change.
I'm very
decisively.
Sorry. I hate to see you like this. I'm very sorry.
I am so close to violating the FCC.
Okay. Well, if you guys
so close.
have any well wishes for Ranj, 314-436-7900, send us a text. You can also leave a voice message on the Odyssey app. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores. Did you see this? Next.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare. With Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Missouri, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Universal Windows Direct. Well, you can just tell the chill is in the air. It's really nice fall weather right now, but it's going to be bitter cold very soon. You live in St. Louis, you get it. So if your windows are drafty, and they probably are, reach out to Universal Windows Direct. They're fantastic. 60 months, same as cash financing. Buy one, get one for free. $250 off your total bill. Not too much more we can do other than that. 314-334-2522 or UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for their holiday food drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS holiday bumper sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details now about the campaign, or if you want to make an online donation, head to the KMOX.com events page now.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Hi, it's Stacy from Fairwinds River's Edge Senior Living, telling you about one of the best offers we've had in the nearly 21 years I've been at Fairwinds. One-bedroom apartments start at $39.95. For all units, we've greatly reduced the residency fee. We are offering a move package of up to $3,500. And moving in, you will not have an increase in 2025. Visit us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Running a small business takes endurance, determination, and the right support to reach your goals. And MasterCard is here to help fuel that journey in a fast-paced digital world. With innovative tools and resources, we're here to guide businesses every step of the way digitally. Because when small business wins, everyone wins. Let's power up our communities one small business and one step at a time. Keeping the community running strong, priceless.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you need the best. Onder Law. Hurt on the job? Call Onder Law today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. Find the best deals on the Hardee's app. Items available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
I'm Sean Malone. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Ranj, I know you didn't see this because you're sick.
Uh-huh.
But I went to the mall yesterday.
Okay.
The Galleria was hopping. Love to see it. Support your brick and mortar. Go to the mall. Go to the mall.
I love the mall.
And
Wait, hold on. Is a mall? Yeah, I guess mall's considered brick and mortar.
yeah, to me, it's the local business now. It's the Galleria. And guess what else? Not only was the Galleria hopping, but there is a Barnes and Noble in the Galleria now.
What, wasn't there always?
No. There was
Wait,
there's one in West County Mall, a big one. There is little Barnes and Noble. You know how the Barnes and Nobles at West County or in other malls are usually bigger, and they also have outward facing entrances, like street facing entrances.
Yep.
This one is in the mall, like in a store, a regular store.
Look at us.
in the strippy part of the mall.
Strippy part.
Yeah. And I went into Barnes and Noble. They have a lot of books, 50% off. So you're welcome.
Wow. How about that? Hey, I know you don't know this, but I saw this yesterday.
Okay.
You know Dennis Rodman?
Yes.
Former star basketball player for the 90s.
Kick him in the
Bulls.
crotch, wear a wedding dress guy.
I think you're thinking of Draymond Green for the kick him in the crotch.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kicked the camera guy.
Yeah.
So
loves North Korea.
He loves Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Yep. So he has a daughter who plays for the women's soccer league, the professional women's soccer league. Her name is Trinity Rodman.
Okay.
She's dating a guy who plays for the Lions, whose name is Trinity Benson.
Really?
Yeah. And what do you think the odds are that two Trinities have ever dated each other?
Isn't that like it happens in Star Wars and like something, a dyad in the Force if two Trinities date each other? I mean, because that's an unusual name anyway.
I have never heard. Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
It's not like two Alexes dating. You know, that would be common. But
That's common.
Trinity?
Even two
I don't know.
Ryans, maybe. But
Yeah, I've never met a Trinity, let alone two.
I know one Trinity. I do know one Trinity. Interesting.
Isn't it?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. And I went, "Wait, that can't be right. They can't be dating each other. That shouldn't be allowed."
Yeah. Well, there you go. If you were part of Ranjan Malhotra's family, or if he were part of yours, it would be Ranjan Ranji. That would be kind of unique too.
That would be perfectly fine.
Because it's UC Ranjan Malhotra.
That's right.
And I see Dr. Birdie. Hey, real quick, I will say that also that was a super random reference from me, but I always think that name.
What about Ranjan Malhotra? Oh, an Ophthalmology Associates?
Yes. And people are like, why did she bring that up? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's because you're Ranji. That's what I call him, Ranji.
That's what we call him.
Anyway, we got to go. He's Chris
People are
Ranji.
saying-
I'm Amy Mark Scores. Coming up next, more information on that E. coli case or cases with Jory Lange of the Lange Law Firm.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply. Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Radio listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off.
Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box start at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection.
Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time.
Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit legacybox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. That's legacybox.com/value to take 65% off. legacybox.com/value.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Radio listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off.
Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box start at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection.
Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time.
Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit legacybox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. That's legacybox.com/value to take 65% off. legacybox.com/value.
It is 11 o'clock in mid-America. We've got clouds and 58 degrees downtown at the Arch. A news conference is called by police for noon to release more about a shooting on I-55, which critically injured a teenager.
At about 10:30 Saturday night, a bullet was fired into an SUV on I-55 at Bates. It hit 16-year-old Colin Brown. The father kept driving and met police downtown. EMS drove Colin to the hospital. Due to the teen's condition, St. Louis police have officially put Homicide Division on the case. The Brown family issued a statement saying, "We believe stronger support and better resources are needed for police in St. Louis and the surrounding areas to address violent gun crimes." The Browns also thanked city police and Illinois State Police for their work and asked for prayers. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Funeral services for Michelle Hampton, kidnapped from Clayton, murdered in the city last week, are set for November 30th at Newcomers Funeral Home in St. Peters. Police charged 43-year-old Anwan Mosby with first-degree murder and a dozen other crimes. A GoFundMe has raised over $13,000 to support Hampton's funeral and children. The Menendez brothers are set to appear virtually in a California courtroom today. Eric and Lyle Menendez are currently serving life sentences for the 1989 murders of their parents, but the L.A. County DA recently announced he believes the pair should be resentenced. CBS News correspondent Elise Preston at the courthouse reports new evidence is out showing abuse before the murders.
Their new defense team says that there has been more evidence that has come to light that also nails down that alleged abuse. And so they're saying that if that abuse would have been presented in 1996 or even now, it changes both the charges and the sentencing. So that may be taken up today. It was filed about a year and a half ago, and their deadline for that petition is looming.
Annual performance reports from Missouri's K-12 public schools are just released.
And they scored an average of 79%, an increase of about 3% over the previous year. State Education Commissioner Carla Esslinger tells MissouriNet performance is bouncing back from the pandemic.
It's something that we've been waiting for, ever since the pandemic. We have looked at scores where we're declining in math, declining in reading, our attendance is down, those kinds of things. And finally, I feel like we're at that tipping point.
The scores show that about 46 districts are at risk of losing full accreditation if they don't improve enough over the next 2 years. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chiefs win another close game.
The Kansas City Chiefs come into Charlotte and avoid a scare against the Carolina Panthers 30-27. And Patrick Mahomes, he had a 33-yard scramble late in the game on the final drive to get the Chiefs in field goal range. And then Spencer Schrader hit a 33-yard field goal as time expired to get the Chiefs the win. And even though fans may not feel the same way, Patrick Mahomes, he does see the benefit of having a close call or two during the season.
I've always said it can be a good thing as you get to the playoffs and later in the season, just knowing that you've been in those moments before, and knowing how to kind of attack it, but play by play, not making it too big of a moment.
The Chiefs will now head home to face the Las Vegas Raiders next week, while the Carolina Panthers have an NFC South showdown in Charlotte with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will Dalton, Charlotte.
The KMOX Business Desk, risky government spending.
The Fed releases its semi-annual financial stability report, and it found the U.S. government's debt load is now seen as the biggest risk to financial stability, and that's outweighing persistent inflation. Escalating tensions in the Middle East and policy uncertainty were among the other concerns. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifels up 323 points to 44,619. Stalled vehicle 270 going north at Dorset. The right shoulder is closed. They've just cleared out a stalled vehicle that was 44 west at Vanaventer.
This afternoon will be mostly cloudy, breezy and cooler with a sprinkle or two. Temperature will fall into the 40s. Breezy this evening, then becoming clear and much colder overnight. Lows ranging from 25 of the coldest suburbs to 31 downtown at the Arch. This is AccuWeather's Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We've got clouds, 56 in Florissant, 55 St. Peters, 58 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you. It is Monday, and we continue our conversation about E. coli. I know last week we said everyone, it seems, has E. coli, and a lot of this stems...
It's going around.
It's going around. We talked about the carrots. Remember the nationwide E. coli outbreak with the carrots? Well, more locally, there was the E. coli outbreak that initially affected Rockwood Summit, but over the course of several days, more and more people were sick with E. coli. I think the initial number was 64. It continued to grow to 90. Now, over 106 people are sick with E. coli, and that is traced back to 5 different events, all catered by Andre's Banquet and Catering. The 5 events, 2 had to do with Rockwood School, 1 with Oakville, and 2 that were funeral related. And to give us more information now on where we stand with those lawsuits, because just last week, the health department said that the lettuce they tested, they suspected it might have been the lettuce, was the source of the E. coli outbreak. That came back negative. Doesn't necessarily exonerate Andres. So to give us some more information is Jory Lange. He's a food safety attorney with the Lange Law Firm. Jory, thank you for joining us again as this saga continues.
Sure. Thanks for having me on.
So let's go to the lettuce that tested negative on Friday. I know Andres said, okay, this shows we're glad that it came up negative. It wasn't us. However, the St. Louis County spokesman said that the lettuce results do not change the course of their investigation because a negative test result for the lettuce doesn't conclusively rule out the salad as the source of the E. coli outbreak. So can you explain, is it good? Is it bad that the lettuce tested negative?
So there's a couple things going on here. The health department is absolutely right that the fact that what was tested negative doesn't exonerate Andres. I will tell you, it is very rare in restaurant outbreaks like this that anything tests positive. And the reason for that is the evidence has been eaten. People ate the lettuce or whatever they ate and got sick, and it's gone. It's not there to be tested. And what was tested, we need to look at, there's a single bag, a sealed bag of lettuce that was tested. So let's break that down. First of all, it's a sealed bag of lettuce. This isn't what anyone ate. No one ate this lettuce and got sick. Second, when you go to the grocery and you buy a head of lettuce, you're buying one piece of lettuce from one farm. But when you buy a bag of lettuce, you're buying lettuce that came from dozens of farms. Because the way this works is, they gather up lots of lettuce, it goes to a processor, it gets chopped up, it gets mixed up. So what ends up in a bag is going to be lots and lots of different farms' lettuce. And in an outbreak like this, it may be some pieces are contaminated and others aren't. So, one thing we'll be looking into is the lettuce that people did eat, was it the same lot as what was tested? Was it a different lot? And then two, when these things are tested, they're testing, it's like a spot check thing. You're testing different pieces of lettuce. You're not testing the entire thing because the tests just don't allow that. So sometimes things get missed. And I think the health department talked about that, where they said, the E. coli is not evenly distributed. It's not like it's uniformly distributed throughout the product. So this doesn't exonerate Andres and doesn't exonerate the salad either.
I know we talked about this last week or maybe it was the week before when we were discussing, and that restaurants, even if they are getting tainted product from somewhere else, they didn't taint it. They didn't do anything wrong in the kitchen. It's just, they got this prepackaged lettuce and it wasn't, washed appropriately or whatever. They are still liable for that. So, I mean, what do you do if you're a restaurant and you get the prepackaged lettuce, the pre-chopped lettuce, or whatever it is? Are you expected to wash all of that yourself? What do they do?
So with lettuce like this, if it does turn out that lettuce was the issue, I expect that Andres will then turn around and have its own case against its supplier. And I think that one thing, a lot of people worry about in an outbreak like this, they're like, well, this is a big food poisoning outbreak. Is my favorite restaurant about to go out of business? That is very unlikely. We work on outbreaks like this all across the country. It's very, very rare that you see a restaurant go out of business. And there's really two reasons for that. The first is restaurants have insurance. So at the end of the day, it's probably not Andres who's going to be compensating people for what happened. It's going to be Andres' insurance company. So Andres is going to be fine. And then the second thing, the restaurants in life, so often when a bad thing happens, the most important thing is what you do next. And that's true for Andres. That's true for restaurants and outbreaks. People can forgive an instance of food poisoning if they see, hey, the restaurant's getting to the bottom of it. They're figuring out what's gone wrong and they're fixing that so that we know it's going to be safe in the future. The thing for Andres to do now is really regain its customers' trust. And if they do that, they'll be fine in the long run.
Yeah, and the owner of Andres, John Ammengold Jr., said that these accusations are reckless and defamatory, that they're responsible for this E. coli outbreak. But is it possible that you have an outbreak of this magnitude, over 100 people from 5 different events catered by Andres, that it is a producer, that it's not anything Andres is doing? Something doesn't add up, like when I'm reading the story.
I think Andres' statement that it's not them is what doesn't match the facts. Andres is the common denominator with these 5 different outbreaks. I think it's very clear that Andres is going to be the source of this. And one thing people don't know about health departments is health departments are very reluctant to point the finger at someone, especially a local business, unless they're absolutely sure. There are lots and lots of outbreaks where the health department says, hey, we see a cluster, but we're not really sure what the source was. We're still investigating. For them to come out and say, for the health department to come out and say, it's Andres, they're sure.
And my understanding is that the food that Andres served at some of these events, that a lot of the meats and side dishes or whatever you would call them were sealed and prepackaged, and it was only the lettuce that wasn't. Is that why the finger or the suspicions were immediately on the lettuce?
So I don't have those facts.
Okay.
That's something we hope to find in the investigation. But my understanding of why there's so much focus on the lettuce is that's what the health department is hearing is the common denominator. That's what the health department is hearing that the people who got sick ate.
So when something like this happens and, you've got people who are part of a lawsuit, there's a class action suit or whatever it is, what sort of real compensation can a person reasonably expect if they get food poisoning?
Right. So the lawsuits hope to recover for people's medical bills, for their lost wages, and for the horrible experience they've had. And in terms of what it would be for any specific person, that's a real fact-dependent thing because people go through different levels of thing. Did you seek medical treatment? Did you have to go to the emergency room? Were you hospitalized? Have you recovered? Or are you going to be someone who may have long-term issues? All of those are very different cases with different likely awards at the end of the day.
You've been obviously part of many lawsuits or several lawsuits like this. Let's say Andres is officially, finally implicated. They take the responsibility. And you said, again, they can change their ways. What does that look like? Like, what steps do they do to regain the trust of the public and to make sure that they don't go under?
Right. So there's three things. The immediate thing is, to test all the employees, make sure that they're sick so they're not potentially contaminating the food. The second thing is any potentially contaminated food to get rid of it. You can't sell that. And then to disinfect the entire facilities where it was made. That's the first thing. The second thing is to figure out how this happened and then communicate to the public what happened and what they're doing to prevent it from happening in the future. People love Andres. People will be ready to love Andres again once they know that Andres is putting the customer first and figuring out what went wrong so that they can avoid this happening in the future.
If Andres does find it's a producer, again, we'll flip it and say, okay, it's not anything they're doing. It's something that they're getting. Do you just swap out the defendant, so to speak, or do you still have to go through Andres and then Andres has to file another lawsuit against the producer?
That's a great question. So basically, we would add the producer to the lawsuits. Andres would seek indemnification from the producer saying, hey, anything I pay, you got to pay me back for. But typically in that situation, it's the producer who ends up paying the injured people directly, as opposed to it going through Andres in that situation. So if it is the salad, it's likely the salad producer who's going to have to make people whole at the end of the day.
Are you able to know how, because I know when we talked about this before, we said it seems like this is happening a lot lately, and maybe it's just we're finding out about it. It's getting media attention. But does this now happen less frequently than it used to? Are there more lawsuits than there used to be because people are aware and will pursue something if they feel like they've gotten food poisoning? What is the status of something like that?
Great question. So unfortunately, there are always lots of food poisoning outbreaks going on, and there's a lot of hidden dangers in food that people don't realize until they're the ones that get sick or someone in their family gets sick. I don't think it's that there's more food poisoning right now. I think it's that the tools for linking the food poisoning to outbreaks, the genetic fingerprinting tests that they're running are better than they were 5 and 10 years ago. So I think the health departments are able to identify food poisoning outbreaks and the sources more quickly. So we're hearing about it more, which looks scary because we're hearing about more outbreaks than we were before. But the good thing is because outbreaks are getting identified more quickly, they're smaller. We're hearing about it when it's 15 or 20 people, as opposed to it needing to be 100 people before you figure it out. So hopefully, as these outbreaks are getting identified earlier and the source is being found earlier, we're stopping other people from eating that and fewer people are getting sick.
Yeah, I think the reason I asked that question is, it seems like most people, if they get food poisoning, they just say, well, I got food poisoning, and they deal with it, and then they don't pursue it further. They just say, well, that that happened to me. So if somebody does get sick and they think it's from a place, a restaurant, somewhere they ate, what do they do?
Yeah. So if someone gets sick, the first thing to do is to go see your doctor, to get tested, to get treatment, to get better. That's the most important thing. And it's far more important than any legal action is getting better. The second thing, I think what most people think of as food poisoning is not E. coli. Most people, when you think food poisoning, you think, oh, I got a tummy bug. I was sick for a few days and then it was better. That's norovirus, which is the most common type of food poisoning. It's self-limiting. You usually get better without any help. That's not E. coli, and that's not E. coli 0157. This is a real serious thing that if you have it, you should definitely seek medical attention.
He is Jory Lang of the Lange Law Firm, and I believe Simon Law is local counsel as well here in St. Louis.
Correct.
Okay. So Simon Law, local counsel right here in St. Louis. Jory Lang, food safety attorney with the Lange Law Firm. Thank you so much for the information today. We really appreciate it. And I imagine we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Jory Lang. Yeah, Lange. With the Lange Law Firm, all that information about food safety. And then I know locally here in St. Louis, if you have any questions, there's Simon Law.
I know he wasn't trying to be funny, but it was really funny when he said, but usually the evidence has been eaten. It's like, oh, that does happen.
I know.
People do eat the evidence.
It makes sense. I don't know what, obviously that makes sense, but to hear it said, that's why if you're watching on the live stream on a very serious conversation, all of a sudden we both got the giggles because I was thinking of Shrek.
A dog?
Shrek, the pigs, when they go,
yeah.
we ate the cake. You ate the cake? We ate the evidence. Anyway, he's Chris Ranji. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and Sean Malone.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with you, huh?
No, he wasn't. He burst into Studio B and said, I wash my hands, Amy.
I know he does. He's always at the sink.
He thanked you. That is Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Mark Scores. More ham or turkey conversation on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
We go where you go. 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
By, and now you're planning to sell your home. Like you, most families have been waiting on the sidelines. Now the timing is better, but maybe you still have questions, right? This is Debbie Monterey for Gloria Lou with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been telling you about Gloria Lou for years now because Gloria Lou is St. Louis's real estate expert. And if you have a home to sell, you need to get to know Gloria like I have. I've seen her systems, her guarantees. I've even met some of her clients. Gloria is different than any other realtor. If you need help selling for the most money, you need to call Gloria Lou. Here's another tip. If you have a home to sell in Crestwood, Shaw, Maplewood, or the Central West End, you absolutely must call Gloria Lou. Take it from me, Debbie Monterey, and call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. Online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota and Newbold BMW, a family-owned dealership group that has been around for 50 years as a Toyota dealer and 25 years in O'Fallon, Illinois. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession. It's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too, to help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose, paid for by Bayer.
Breaking news. In 2025, Social Security will increase 2.5%. But what does that mean for your retirement wallet? Now for the tough questions. When and how should you claim your Social Security? How does it fit in with your financial future? There are several claiming options, and you don't want to leave money on the table. That's why it's important to work with a professional like Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group. Join Steve for an exclusive Social Security presentation at the Stone Summit on Tuesday, December 3rd or Thursday, December 5th. This event is complimentary, but you do need to reserve your spot today. Call 636-230-8824 or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. All Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This month we are focusing on prostate cancer, and joining me is Dr. Vikas Prasad.
At the Siteman Cancer Center, you are taken in hand, right from the first stage of the diagnosis until even in the advanced stages, where we can sometimes offer you some very advanced level clinical trials.
Special thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/gutter to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/gutter for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
KMOX, where every crack of the bat resonates with tradition, passion, and the spirit of Cardinals Nation.
Okay, here's what we need you guys to do. We need you to send well wishes to our good friend Chris Ranji, who is convalescing at home right now because he was sick, and then the Bears lost, and then he got really sick.
That's exactly what happened.
They hurt his immune system. So, like, if you have any, messages for Chris Ranji, you can text 314-436-7900 or leave a voice message, which is always great to hear your voices, on the Odyssey app on the microphone icon.
We had a text message earlier when we had Tom call in, remember?
Yeah.
When Tom called in and said they, have turkey and what else?
Ham,
pork,
and brisket.
Brisket, that's what it was. And here, this text says, I'm here to one-up Tom.
Wow.
My pop plans to make turkey, salmon, shrimp, ham, and then putting out some variety of pickled herring, sardines, and anchovies.
What?
His good Catholic mother
always
said you needed 7 different meats on Thanksgiving.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
that's
this.
from our guy, Big Blonde Dan.
Big Blonde Dan. I've never heard of 7 meats.
Me neither.
The 7 meats Thanksgiving.
It sounds bad.
It sounds like you'd have the meat sweats.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
We have turkey only, and we eat in 2 rooms, but that's not because of the size of the family.
That's pretty good. I like that.
I wonder how many people, what do you think the frequency is of people who get together and they hate a good amount of their family? And
that's
Thanksgiving
a
ends up.
thought.
What do you mean?
I mean, you can have tension, not hate. Hate is a strong word. You can have maybe some
dislike,
friction,
whatever,
or friction.
Pick whatever. Pick your adjective, whatever.
I think there's always some friction among at least 1 or 2 or 3 people.
Or I guess that would be a noun, wouldn't it? But hey, look, man, I'm in a fog. But I feel like I wonder how many people just don't have fun on Thanksgiving. I always have a good time.
Do you?
But there have to be people.
Aren't you the youngest person at your Thanksgiving?
No.
Really? Do you have cousins?
I mean, there are no. Yeah.
Huh.
They're younger than me.
Well, you look very reclined right now as you.
I feel very reclined.
As you work on getting.
I was not comfortable earlier.
Yeah, as he works on getting better. We love to hear your messages. We do have a Twitter poll on the Twitter. It is, what do you eat on Thanksgiving? Turkey, ham, or other? I literally never heard of ham for Thanksgiving until a couple of years ago, last year.
Here's what's weird. For Christmas, we've done years where it's very informal.
Mm-hmm.
Like there isn't a like a ham dinner with all of this stuff. It would just be more of a kind of a laid back finger foods kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that for a few years. It was that worked out great too.
But now you're having
that was for Christmas though.
Yeah. Now you're having ham and lamb.
Ham and lamb.
Yeah.
No, I think we're having ham and turkey.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've been told.
My parents on Christmas do an incredible beef tenderloin. It's pretty amazing. But that's Christmas.
I do like beef tenderloin.
Oh my gosh, it is delicious. So anyway, we want to hear from you. We've got the Twitter poll at Chris Amy KMOX, and like I said, our little convalescent here, man, this guy's down. This guy's down because of the Bears.
Okay.
Because he's sick. He's very reclined. He's doing this for you. He's a man of
For
the
you.
people. So send him some well wishes on the Odyssey app or 314-436-7900.
Texter here says that Seven Meats is playing at the pageant Wednesday.
Love that band. Seven Meats. Hey, we got Matt Pauley next. We're gonna talk a little sports right here on KMOX.
Have I got a knockout deal for you? Go to STLGunsandHoses.com to get tickets for the biggest party of the year at Enterprise Center the night before Thanksgiving and help the families of our fallen first responders. Be there for the 37th Budweiser Guns and Hoses presented by Stiefel. Join us for an unforgettable night of boxing, MMA, and entertainment, including country legend George Strait's musical tribute to first responders. Come join the party Thanksgiving Eve.
Psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me! That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Happy holidays from all of us at the Audiology Center, where hearing is our passion.
Happy holidays to you, Dr. Colleen Bosler, and everyone at the Audiology Center. You have some important information for our listeners as we approach the end of the year and the holidays.
At the end of the year, all the new hearing aid companies come out with their models for the next year. And oh my gosh, Charlie, there have been major advancements in technology. Just in time for the holidays. With so many social gatherings around this time, you want to be able to hear and enjoy visiting with loved ones. You don't want to miss out this holiday season, so please call today and make an appointment so you can hear better tomorrow.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Folks, the Audiology Center has 3 convenient locations: St. Peter's, Creve Coeur, and Florissant. Make a reservation today, 636-441-7470 or the Audiology Center STL.com.
At 11:30, clouds and 58 downtown at the Arch. With more hunting permits allowed this deer season in Missouri, there's a potential for more meat to be donated to needy families. Local outdoor writer Jim Winkleman.
Think of a pound of ground beef, how far a pound of ground beef can go in a pot of spaghetti, or as 4 quarter-pound burgers or something like that. How many families you can feed with 247,000 pounds of venison that were donated last year.
The firearms portion ends a half hour after sunset tomorrow. Road work on 6440 going east at Research Park Circle. That's got the right lane closed. Some road work on 67 Lindbergh South Clayton Road. The right lane, right shoulder are closed. This afternoon, temperatures falling into the 40s. Overnight, 25 in the lowest suburbs to 31 downtown. Tomorrow's high, 47. Right now, 58 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Our story is about people, a city, and a legendary river. It lives in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. It's the story of St. Louis, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Subscribe today at stltoday.com/story. The American Cancer Society calls upon Black women from all walks of life to join Voices of Black Women, a groundbreaking research study led by the American Cancer Society. Voices of Black Women is designed to better understand why and how cancer and other health conditions impact Black women. Go to voices.cancer.org.
Broadcasting from the Underlying Tree Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for Michael's Baths. Thinking about a new bathroom for Christmas? When you're ready to remodel your bathroom, get rid of the old shower and
and replace it with something more modern, maybe a walk-in shower with safety features, call Mike and his team. Family owned and locally owned, always 30 to 50% lower than the competition. Michael's has all 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ BBB rating. Michael's Bath, 636-775-0800. That's 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
If fashion is your thing, eBay is it. eBay's where I find all my favorites, from handbags to iconic streetwear, all authenticated. For real. This time, a little Supreme, some Gucci. I even have that vintage Prada on my watch list. That's why eBay's my go-to for all my go-tos. Yeah, eBay, the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay, things people love.
Winter Wonderland, presented by St. Louis County Parks and Byerly RV at Tillis Park, is open now through December 30th. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes while listening to your favorite Christmas songs. Whether you're carrying on a family tradition or starting a new one, you'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. More at KMOX.com. Happy holidays from Quality Waterproofing, Wash U Orthopedics, Rawlings Sporting Goods, Telly Tire, and Together Credit Union.
Bernie Nicholas gets the final word during sports on a Sunday morning. Hear what he has to say on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Well, the St. Louis Blues have a brand new head coach in Jim Montgomery, and he will be behind the bench tonight as the Blues take on the New York Rangers in New York. Puck drop at 6 p.m. And the Kansas City Chiefs eked out yet another victory yesterday. The Bears...
Eek!
Eek! That's how it felt when they won. Yeah. And the Bears did not. And to talk a little sports with us is Matt Pauley. He is the KMOX Sports Open Line host. He does Cardinals pre and post game, and he joins us twice a week. Hey, Matt, how are you?
I am good. Thanks for having me on, as always.
Of course. Ranj is he's convalescing at home on this Thanksgiving week.
Bears lost overtime. Got pretty good.
I can hear your grin.
I could hear a smile too. That's so weird.
Yeah, who the hell do you think you are, pal?
Oh, I'm a team with that. I'm an NFL nomad.
Well, don't pick my team unless you just want to be kicked in the sack all the time.
Well, all the time on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, have you ever seen? I'm sure it's happened, but have you ever seen a team that started as promising as they did, 4-2? They got this young quarterback who's the number 1 overall pick, and then they go on to lose 5 in a row. 5 in a row.
Unique, and then, it's a very
and then like 3
situation.
of them were, and then like 3 of them were not normal losses. 3 of them were like, oh my God, how did that happen?
Yeah, I'm. It's funny, but I also feel bad for you and all Bears fans. I have many friends who are Bears fans, so I feel bad for all of my friends who are Bears fans.
Can you think of a team in sports where it's kind of happened similarly?
Oh, I'm sure something has, but no, nothing just jumps out at me. I'd have to really think through that one.
I mean, you have a Hail Mary, you have a blocked field goal, you lose in overtime. I don't know, man. They've really, it's really been happening to them.
Yeah.
By the way, Matt Pauley's appearance brought to you by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated. RennerDoorSTL.com. So what are your thoughts on the Blues' new head coach in Jim Montgomery?
Yeah, I like it. I think they became better. Now, this is still a team that, look, as we've said over and over, this is now a core group of players who have not only gotten a Stanley Cup winning coach in Craig Berube fired, but they've gotten 2 coaches fired. So in less than a year. So at some point in time, the players have to take some responsibility and step forward. And hopefully Montgomery's the guy that can help them do that. But they got better. And I've been thinking about this because when I was first like going through the possibility of it happening, I was really hung up on the idea that it wasn't fair to Drew Bannister. And it's not. I'm not saying that it is fair to him because he's had 20 or so games as the full-time head coach of the Blues. That is not much of an opportunity. But as I thought about it more and more, I did come back to what got him the job in the first place. What got him the job in the first place was a bunch of players who got a guy fired. Well, now that just kind of happened to him. So the same reason he got the job is essentially the same reason he lost the job, plus the fact that Montgomery came available. And this is gonna sound like I'm taking a shot at Bannister. I'm not. I'm stating a fact, and it's gonna sound really mean. They're replacing a guy basically with zero credentials as an NHL head coach. I mean, he was a minor league coach a year ago and hadn't had much experience at all in the NHL, and that's who he was. And I'm not saying he's a bad hockey coach because he's not, but he just didn't have the credentials. Even yesterday, Doug Armstrong spoke about how they had a young coach who was, making some mistakes and learning on the job, and they knew that was going to be part of it. So that's who he is. That's who he was. And they have replaced him with a legit top tier NHL coach. And it's a really tough business, and it's not always fair. But if you've got the opportunity to make yourself better by replacing a guy who's just kind of the coach from Central Casting and replace him with a legit dude, credit to Doug Armstrong, credit to the Blues for making that move.
Also, you're really touching on an important idea here as it pertains to sports. Fairness, to me, doesn't and shouldn't exist. Fairness should happen on the field when it comes to officiating. There should be fairness in officiating, but when it comes to winning, it's not supposed to be fair. It's not supposed to be fair to individuals. Teams have to do what they have to do to win.
Yeah, so if you're ever around like minor league baseball players, there's kind of a joke that goes around where it's don't like it, play better. Like anytime somebody's complaining about something, the veteran and the guy in the room will say, don't like it, play better. And it's become like this almost jokingly baseball cliche in the minor leagues. You always hear, don't like it, play better. So with all due respect to Drew Bannister, I'll change it around a little bit. Don't like it? Well, you should have won more games.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I will say this too. I don't think you're being mean because Jim Montgomery has all the credentials, right? Drew Bannister, not only was he a young coach, but he stepped in because, as you mentioned, another coach with a ton of credentials, the first coach to bring a Stanley Cup to St. Louis, got fired. I think the bigger surprise really is that the Blues signed Drew Bannister to be more than an interim coach. The bigger surprise was when they signed him to be head coach. I don't think a lot of people were expecting that. Some people thought, well, maybe that's the time to do it because this team, while it can be competitive, I don't think anyone's expecting it to win the Stanley Cup. And there was kind of that attitude. But this makes sense to me. This is how the business works.
Yeah, you're right. And again, if they would have won more games, it would have been different. There was nothing that was like really noteworthy about Drew Bannister. And it almost felt like he got the job because the Blues in many ways just felt like there wasn't really much better out there. So there was something better out there when Montgomery became available. He knows the Blues. He's got a relationship with Armstrong. Look, it was a bad look, by the way. This got lost in the entire shuffle. Pavel Buchnevich, after their last loss on Saturday, I wouldn't say he went off, but he was respectful about it. But he basically talked about the fact that they're not working on offense in practice. That all they're doing is dumping the puck in and doing not much else, and they got to start. So when you've got one of your key players essentially calling out the style of practices you're running, like that does tell me that there are some other issues going on. And I think that's connected to a young coach not completely knowing what needs to be worked on.
It's funny you say that because you started off this whole thing, taking jabs at me about the Bears, and that's what players were saying in practice, that like they would work on things, not get it right, but then they would just move on to the next thing. Which I'm not saying that's what the Blues were doing, but if you're not doing things in practice and getting those things right in practice, that's a massive coaching issue. That's when you're supposed to work on the important stuff and get it all right. and don't move on unless it is done right. And again, I'm not saying that they were just moving on to the next thing, but if they're not even really trying, that's a problem.
Yeah, like I don't even, based off what Pavel Buchnevich said, and I'm not, look, there's a lot of people in the market from a media standpoint that could talk on this a lot better than I could because I'm not really at Blues practice. But based off what Buchnevich said and other things that I'm hearing, it sounds like, according to Buchnevich, they weren't working on offense enough. Like, hey, we're gonna go score 1 goal a game. Let's work on defense at practice the next day. Like, work on the stuff that you're not good at. And if the defense takes a hit because you're spending so much time working on the offense, then come back around and start working on that again. But when Buchnevich is openly talking about the fact that they are simply not working on offense in practice, that is that's a red flag.
Well, I will say this about the Blues. The fact they made this decision, they did this quickly, they did it decisively. It may or may not work. It may have an effect. It may not have an effect. But I think people should appreciate the fact they did it quickly.
Yeah. They saw a chance to make themselves better, and they just did it. And there's something to be said for that.
Hey, Matt, we brought up the Kansas City Chiefs eking out a victory. Eked out a victory. At one point, a couple points, they were up in the game. They were up by double digits, and they're tied late in the game. They have to win it between the posts, and Carolina's not a very good football team. So it's good that they won, but does it make you worried about how are they going to look in the playoffs if they lost last week to a good Bills team and then they barely won against a not that great Panthers team?
Yeah, I think there's a reason they're no longer the Super Bowl favorites, and that's it. It's because of how they look. They're not looking as impressive. Patrick Mahomes even said after the game that they got to stop winning these tight games. They need some blowouts. It's funny. I went to the Missouri the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony yesterday because Jim Jackson and Earl Austin Jr. and a bunch of really cool people were being inducted in. And it starts, I get there like at 12:15, so I'm listening to the game. And as I'm getting out of my car, that's right as the game is getting started, and the Chiefs have the really long return on the first kickoff, and then they very quickly score. And I think to myself, okay, this is going to be a one-sided 40-7 kind of game. And I just kind of leave it at that. I get inside. It's a fairly long ceremony, and then I'm sitting next to Chris Tuno from the Cardinals, and all of a sudden, midway through, he shows me his phone where it's like 27-27 or something, and I just couldn't. Like, I hadn't seen a second of it. My assumption was that the Chiefs were just absolutely rolling against Carolina, and then it's a tight game. So it's not great when you're playing, and it was essentially a home game for Kansas City. The stadium in Charlotte was like 3/4 of the way filled with Chiefs fans. So yeah, it's startling when you see how often they are playing these close games. I mean, they haven't played a one-sided game really. Oh man, they beat the 49ers by 10, but even that wasn't. It was really the game against the Saints the week before when they won that game 26-13. So this is supposed to be maybe the best team in the NFL, certainly the best team in the AFC, and they are just not putting teams away right now.
Yeah, and I know the question now is which of the teams that has one loss is better? Is it Kansas City or Detroit? And I look, I know what the regular season says, but I just have this feeling that when they get to the playoffs, the Chiefs are going to be a whole lot better than they are right now. And I don't know what I don't know how to define that or, quantify it. It just seems like they figure it out when the playoffs start.
Yeah, let's say those two teams have the exact same seasons the rest of the way. They win all their games. Let's even say they become somewhat one-sided, or maybe they're all close. Like, it doesn't matter. The Lions and the Chiefs basically look the same between now and the end of the season, and they both roll through the playoffs, and eventually they match up against each other in the Super Bowl. If the Chiefs and the Lions play in the Super Bowl, to me, it's an easy choice to take Kansas City.
Hey, Matt, any thoughts on Patrick Mahomes getting a $14,000 fine for making a gesture as if he were holding a gun, a hand gesture that imitated him holding a gun? The NFL
in that game against Buffalo.
In a game against Buffalo, the NFL is trying to, crack down on violent gestures. I missed that, so I didn't hear about it until it was a little bit late and the fine was levied. That's when I heard about it. Did he?
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I mean, you can't do it. That's where they're at right now. I don't think it's anything that imitates a gun or a violent act. Just don't do it. And I mean, he's Patrick Mahomes. He makes lots of money. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of telling other people what's going on. We spend way too much time talking about celebrations sometimes when it comes. And I think the credit to the NFL, they let a lot more stuff go than they did previously. But there are rules in place of how you can celebrate, how you can't celebrate. There's rules about the uniforms, the kind of cleats you can wear and things like rules exist for a reason. And if you break the rules, you get fined. I don't think there is any like ill intent or, I don't think Mahomes was trying to send some sort of other message with that. He did something he probably shouldn't have done. He got fined and you move on.
Yeah, like I said, I get it. Like, well, he had to have known. Like, he just decided he was going to take the fine and do it anyway. Maybe, but also this is how I'm sure he wasn't thinking this. But like, if you score a touchdown or you score a goal in a pickup game, you could do the old Bugs Bunny putting the guns back in the holster. You know what I mean? You're not trying to be violent. It's just something that you would do, and it's relatively innocuous.
I'm more offended by the NFL's taunting rules generally. They've got way too many taunting rules. Like, and just you can't taunt another player to his face, or you're going to get called for a penalty.
Is that because you would be a taunter?
You would be really good.
You would be a super taunter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're good, why wouldn't you?
The pro taunting.
Dude, I think if a player is really good at what they do, and they taunt another guy, it's entertaining. And then when they get theirs, somebody shoves it back in their face. That's even more entertaining.
I mean, I know you like to do that, but you taunted.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know what that is.
Anyway,
look, man.
Well, hey, Ron, I heard sirens in the background a few moments ago. Is everything okay at your place?
Yeah, I mean, I live pretty close to a hospital.
Okay. It would be very exciting, and this would encourage people to get on the live stream if you got arrested during the show, like they handcuffed you while we were doing the show. That would be good radio.
What's it called when when the gamers do
swatting
the stupid thing? Yeah.
Oh gosh, no, that's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
No, I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying
it's illegal. By the way,
the story if it happened.
Let me just tell you the many conversations we've had with the FBI. If you do that, they will find you.
Yeah.
They will. It is very, very illegal to do that, and they are like 100% on finding and catching people who pull that crap.
Let me just say, when I started talking about it, I said the stupid thing that people do. In no way was I promoting it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm impressed.
We believe you, Matt. Matt, we won't talk to you before. Wait, will we talk to you before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we'll talk on Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Okay. And we'll have to check.
Are you guys working on Wednesday?
We are.
Yeah.
I'll have to check.
Oh, baby.
I know. We'll talk to you and make sure you're not starting any fights in the turkey aisle of Walmart. Sounds good.
I can bring that story back up, the Thanksgiving tradition if you want.
I would be devastated if you didn't. He is Matt Pauley, our KMOX host of Sports Open Line. Oh, wait, tonight?
6 to 6:45 leading into Billikens basketball.
Excellent. Thank you, Matt.
And by the way,
you bet.
Thanks, Matt. And by the way, the Chiefs will play on Friday afternoon. We have a 2:00 kickoff and a 1:00 pregame show on KMOX. Don't forget.
Don't forget, Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, KMOX.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youreyedoctor.com.
Join the authors of the new book, The Wonder and Complexity of the 1904 World's Fair, at the Missouri History Museum on Thursday, December 5th, for a discussion of this pivotal event in St. Louis history that is both grand and shameful. Happy hour with cash bar, food for purchase, and pop-up activities begin at 5 p.m. Discussion at 6:30. Free admission. Books are on sale now in the Missouri History Museum gift shop. Info at mohistory.org. mohistory.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Do you love your house and hate the thought of assisted living? Whether you're caring for a loved one in your home right now or planning to live independently in the years ahead, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They can completely remodel your old bathroom in just 3 days and back up their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on both their quality and craftsmanship. If all you need is a new walk-in tub or easy entry shower to make your life easier, they could do just that for you. Avoid the hassle and stress of remodeling. Check them out on the web at 3daykitchen.com or call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath for your free design consultation today. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. It's about time.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
At Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, every moment with our patients is a gift. Thanks to supporters like you, children have hope as they fight serious illness and reach incredible milestones. Please donate today at treeofhope.org.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
I'm Maria Kina. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It's Christmas, almost. It's Christmas season. It is to me. It starts before Thanksgiving. And guess what I am doing this very afternoon, Chris Ranji?
You are going for a sleigh ride.
Yes. No, I am getting my Christmas tree.
Oh, good for you.
And it's a real one. It's little.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
little because, you know, it has to be apartment sized. So it's a little Christmas tree. But it's real, and I'm so excited, and I'm going to put twinkle lights on it because Christmas is here.
I do not have I don't have it in me to get a real tree.
Is that because you're sick?
No, just at all.
But you, how?
I'm fine with a fake tree.
Okay. Listen,
I've always been fine with it.
Do you have a
I
fake
grew
tree?
up with one. Yeah.
How tall is it?
It's not very big.
3 feet?
Yeah, about.
4 feet?
Yeah, about.
Okay. I think my tree is probably about 3.5 feet tall. 3 feet, maybe.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But look, I got a friend who puts up in her house. She lives in a big house in like Idaho or something now. But she puts up 7 trees.
What?
Yeah,
No.
all over the house.
Like full-size trees.
Full-size trees, 7 of them.
Real or fake?
Fake.
That's a lot of trees.
She
I've heard of
loves
Two Trees.
Christmas.
I know Two Trees, but
Mhm.
I've never. I mean,
I know Two Chains. You don't even know who that
Is that
is.
a rapper?
Yeah, sure. Wow. Wow.
Maybe he's friends with Seven Meats.
Okay.
At any
Wow.
rate, that's what?
Text messages, Amy. Text messages coming in. This one says, every Christmas, I have fried spam and eggs for breakfast. Is that
Mm.
some sort of tradition?
I don't know if it's a tradition, but I think my dad would love that. He likes fried
And
spam.
this texter says, a Christmas turkey isn't weird, though, because some people have turkey
Yeah.
on Christmas. Is it?
I don't think it's weird.
I don't either.
I don't think a goose. I've never had a Christmas goose, but I think they did in England. At any rate,
It was the Christmas goose. You had to
Yeah.
pay a shilling for it.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's Chris Ranji. We got to go. We got to go to news, Ranj.
Oh, sorry. Bye.
Yeah, he's Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show continues on KMOX.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping. I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Walk into the store, let's see what I'll get today. Caramel cheese and butter, or maybe birthday cake, ranch or sour cream, or maybe chili cheese. White cheddar, buffalo, watermelon, Oreo, is just so much to see. Jingle bells, Christmas on the way. Have no fear, the perfect gift is at hooray.
It is 12 noon in mid-America. This news update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. It's a cloudy sky and 57 degrees downtown at the Arch. A 16-year-old is in critical condition after being shot Saturday night while riding in his car with his father. Christian Brothers College High School identified the victim as junior Colin Brown, urging prayers and support for his recovery. Police say the shooting happened on I-55 near Loughborough Avenue. Brown and his father were reportedly returning home from a varsity hockey game. Anybody with information is asked to contact St. Louis Police or Crime Stoppers. There was a news conference beginning at any moment at St. Louis Police headquarters. We'll tell you what they have to say. Congresswoman Ann Wagner has introduced legislation that she says aims to protect U.S. citizens from violence directed by foreign governments or powers.
The so-called Deterrence Act would increase criminal sentences for crimes committed at the direction of or in coordination of foreign governments. The identified crimes include murder for hire, as well as threats of violence or violent crimes against current and former U.S. officials and their families. Wagner, who serves as the vice chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, says this legislation is needed because of Iran allegedly being behind an assassination attempt on President-elect Donald Trump. Anthony Morabith, Missouri Net.
The St. Louis Development Corporation releases the preliminary findings of the third-party audit into the North City Grant Program.
The audit found the outsourced viability assessments might not be credible and suggested SLDC take a closer look. CEO Neil Richardson says they have already been in the process of doing so.
To ensure that they're accurate, to ensure that they meet our basic criteria, and to really provide an oversight for the work that had been done by Grow America.
Richardson has previously said SLDC sent Grow America a cease and desist after it was found they were trying to upsell grant applicants. The audit also found the processes and procedures used to evaluate applicants was legal and in line with U.S. Treasury guidelines. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The week ahead will be the busiest for holiday travel this season. AAA estimates a record 80 million people will travel 50 miles or more.
It doesn't matter when you leave, it's always going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of volume as well. So it's something that you just expect.
In Washington, D.C., Reagan Airport is already seeing an uptick in passengers. It's only expected to get busier. Travelers are talking about the experience. The KMOX Business Desk, smoke them if you've got them.
Bit of a setback for big tobacco. The U.S. Supreme Court rejecting an appeal by the industry, refusing to block a federal rule that starting next year will require cigarette packages to carry graphic warnings about the health dangers of smoking, including images of people with cancer, lung disease, and erectile dysfunction. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel up 330 points to 44,626. Right now,
live on the scene,
St. Louis police are talking about that shooting on I-55. Let's take a listen in.
Fourth person was shot in the foot. And as I was coming down here to brief you today, I got word of a fifth person who was grazed by gunfire. It is still a very active investigation. I was just speaking with the homicide commander when he had to go because of some new information that was coming in. So I think that gives you some perspective to how active that case is. So that was our latest homicide that occurred, and that was over on Carr Street. I want to get to the next update, and this is going to be what unfolded Saturday night in the city of St. Louis, and this was on Interstate 55. Around 10:30 Saturday night, officers were notified about a 16-year-old boy who had been shot and needed help in the area of 4th and Walnut, Broadway and Walnut, just that general area. When officers arrived, they found a 16-year-old who had been shot, but was shot on Interstate 55 near Loughborough. The 16-year-old is in critical condition right now, and due to his condition, homicide detectives have taken the lead in the investigation. It appears that the teenager was hit by a stray bullet. This type of senseless violence is reckless, and it will not be tolerated by the men and women of this police department. Since this tragedy happened, we have been working and exhausting all leads. After the shooting happened, detectives closed Interstate 55 for a period of time to try and locate a scene. They located a scene and recovered evidence. On Sunday morning, homicide detectives shut the interstate down again to look for additional evidence. Additional evidence was recovered. Detectives have been canvassing and knocking on doors, but we will need the community's help to solve this senseless act of violence. We are asking anyone that lives in the area of Interstate 55 and Loughborough to review their home security cameras. We do believe that some of those homes that have cameras may have captured the incident. We need people to go home, look at their cameras, and immediately call our homicide detectives if they see anything on the cameras that might be suspicious or could point out an instance of gunfire, and let us know what's on those cameras. We are also asking anyone who is driving on Interstate 55 Saturday night between 10:30 and 10:40 that may have seen something or witnessed gunfire to call our homicide division. We cannot solve crime alone, but we do know that there are witnesses to what happened, and we need their eyewitness account to help us piece together what happened. No amount of information is too small. Somebody may be thinking, well, I may have seen that, but they probably already know. Don't assume. If you saw something, please call us because we need your help. No amount of information is too small. You never know what piece of the puzzle you might provide to help us bring justice to this 16-year-old boy. I want to remind everyone that our homicide detectives are available at 314-444-5371.
You're listening to St. Louis Police spokesman Mitch McCoy giving an update on that I-55 shooting.
I also want to update everyone on the murder of Michelle Hampton. As many of you know, on Saturday, we announced that homicide detectives, intelligence detectives, with the assistance of the U.S. Marshals Task Force, along with the St. Louis County Police Department, arrested 43-year-old Anwan Mosby. I guess that's just an automatic light. He was arrested in connection to the shooting of Michelle Hampton. She died in the 4700 block of Greer. Our homicide detectives presented a case to the Circuit Attorney's Office. The Circuit Attorney's Office elected to file 18 charges against the suspect. Murder first degree, assault first degree, robbery first degree ×2, attempt robbery first degree, UUW subsection 9, armed criminal action ×8, kidnapping first degree, endangering the welfare of a child ×2, and unlawful possession of a firearm. The suspect is also facing a federal charge, and that's going to be kidnapping resulting in death. For the reporters that have been in this market and have been a reporter a while, you know how rare it is to get a federal charge on the weekend. That goes to show you the amount of work that was being put into solving this, holding the individuals accountable. And we cannot thank the U.S. Attorney's Office and our federal counterparts enough for their assistance, along with the Clayton Police Department and the other law enforcement agencies that were involved in the capture of this very dangerous man.
You're listening to St. Louis Police spokesman Mitch McCoy giving an update on several high-profile cases that we have been reporting on recently. We do have a reporter in that briefing room. They'll get to questions. We'll have the latest coming up at the bottom of the hour. Crash on 67 Lindbergh South at Taylor Road. That's near 270. The right two lanes are closed. A crash on 364 East at Route K. That's got, according to MoDOT, all the lanes closed.
Mostly cloudy, breezy, and turning cooler this afternoon with a sprinkle in spots. Temperature will end up in the mid-40s. Breezy this evening, then clearing and much colder overnight. We'll get down to 25 in some of the coldest suburbs, about 31 downtown at the Arch. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We've got a cloudy sky, 55 in Florissant, 54 St. Peters, 57 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you. You heard Michael Calhoun there jumping into the St. Louis Police Department press conference, talking about two high-profile cases. One is the 16-year-old Colin Brown, CBC high school student who was shot on Highway 55 on Saturday while riding in the car with his dad. The police believe it was random gunfire. They are asking for anyone who was in that vicinity, anyone who may have cameras, Ring doorbell cameras, that type of thing around 55 in Loughborough in that area, to look at that video, see if there's anything, no matter how small, that seems suspicious or unusual from what you would usually see on your camera, and give it to the police because they are looking for any information that they can find. They also brought up the Clayton woman, Michelle Hampton, who was abducted and murdered last week, and how the suspect was arrested and charged, Anwan Mosby, and he was charged with federal crimes over the weekend, saying that very rarely happens. 20 charges, including first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. And yeah, Ron, I know we're going to talk more. And at 12:30, we'll have Stuart McMillan, KMOX reporter, in with us. He is at that press conference.
It's good to get some resolution, at least on some of this, or at least the beginning of it. And you mentioned the Ring cameras for the incident, the shooting that happened on 55. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't have a Ring camera where I live, I don't really need it, but they will don't they sort of automatically pick up if there's action going on? I mean, they're recording constantly, but I think the cameras are somehow set to know if something out of the ordinary is going on, right?
Well, there's activity, and I know that if someone's on your front porch, you'll get a notification. I think if it's just street activity, you just have to go back, I thought, and look at the footage. But again, probably each system is a little bit different depending on your settings. We know in Soulard, for instance, a lot of the communities gotten together to install those doorbell cameras and then connect them as a safety network just among the community themselves to help out law enforcement.
Yeah, I know of people in a neighborhood right now that are dealing with burglaries, and they finally, because of the Ring cameras, they have visuals of the people who are doing it, and there are a couple of people who are responsible for it right now. Well, they're going to catch them.
Yeah.
You know, they're eventually going to catch them. The whole Ring thing is, I know that some people think it's sort of an invasion of privacy a bit. I don't see that at all. I think they're actually very, very useful.
He's Chris Ranji. I'm Amy Mark Scores. We will continue this conversation in just a few minutes. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Radio listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off.
Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box start at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection.
Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time.
Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit legacybox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. That's legacybox.com/value to take 65% off. legacybox.com/value.
If you're planning to sell and also buy a home in the near future, I know it can be stressful. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty knows selling and buying your next home at the same time can be tricky, especially in our area. This is Debbie Monterey, and if you need to sell and buy at the same time, this message is for you. Gloria Liu has several great options for her home sellers, including her Sell and Stay program that gets you the most money possible for your current home and then allows you to stay put until you find your next home. No more stress, worries, or hassles or settling. Gloria Liu makes selling your St. Louis area home easy, and she's been doing this for more than 21 years. So why risk working with an average realtor when you can work with the best? The name to remember is Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hey guys, it's Dave and Rachel from The Dave Glover Show.
So Smart Mouth is the only mouth rinse in the world that has a chemical reaction that makes sure that your bad breath is gone for 12 hours at a time, which means 24 hours a day, zero bad breath.
Yeah, all you have to do is rinse twice and you are covered for 24 hours. That means you never have bad breath. Plus, there's a product to fit whatever your needs are. To learn more, go to their website, smartmouth.com/Glover. And while you're there, you can get a coupon for $2.50 off.
This holiday season, be the MVP of your family and give the gift of Cardinals baseball. All-inclusive tickets are on sale now and feature a full buffet, complimentary bar, plus a great view of the game. And you can choose from the Budweiser 703 Club, UMB Champions Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, and more. So treat your family, your friends, your clients, or just yourself with all-inclusive Cardinals tickets. They're on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
Cardinals single game tickets for the 2025 season, including opening day, are on sale now, just in time for the holidays. Give the gift of family time, date nights, or hanging out with your friends under the stadium lights. The 2025 schedule is filled with great matchups, including weekends with the Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, and more. The promo schedule is packed with fan favorites, too. There's something for everyone in the 2025 season, so get your tickets now at cardinals.com/holiday.
Thanksgiving is a special time to gather with loved ones as we enjoy delicious food and create lasting memories. Let's take a moment to appreciate each other. Wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. From your friends at Odyssey and Under Law Injury Lawyers.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
From city lights to neighborhood stories, KMOX's local newsroom keeps you informed. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
As always, we welcome in your voice messages and text messages, voice messages on the Odyssey app, the microphone icon. I like to think it is the Chris and Amy Show voice message feature, primarily for us and for you.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep. And then also the text message, 314-436-7900.
Text message here says, my family usually Thanksgiving was turkey and ham. One or the other for Christmas, but we would also do duck and goose, which I guess that's historic, right? We're talking about a Christmas goose.
Yeah, because that's from A Christmas Carol.
And sometimes the texter goes on to say just random meals like what is prehistoric Mexican food? What is that? Prehistoric?
Like Aztec, like ancient grains?
I don't know. It says prehistoric Mexican food.
My mom uses Erewhon flour, which I think it's ancient.
Interesting.
It's an ancient grain. I don't know what prehistoric Mexican food is.
I don't either. Also,
maybe he
they
meant
say
pre-ordered.
Maybe they do mean what is prehistoric Mexican food? It was before the dinosaurs?
I don't know. Because prehistoric is older than ancient. Maybe he meant pre-ordered, prepared.
I don't know.
I bet he meant prepared. I don't know.
Didn't the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, didn't that land in Mexico?
Did it?
I think it did.
Maybe that's what he meant.
Anyway, and he says that, or they say that also an Italian food Christmas sometimes happened, which I've heard of that before.
Wait, say it again. With Italian food?
Having an Italian food Christmas.
Oh, gotcha.
So like pasta and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I have heard of
that. This text message earlier wants to know why Shamey, talking about you, why did Shamey sound surprised when Chris said he had cousins? That's a great question. Like, what about me says there's no way this guy has cousins? What does that mean?
Because you're an only child. And in my head, I don't know, your parents like
they were only children too?
Well, no, but like your aunts didn't have any kids or something. For some reason, I picture all of these older people and then you. Like that it's Pam and your aunts and you.
I think it's because
you never talk about your cousins.
Yes, I do.
If you're a cousin and you've been mentioned on this show, 314-436-7900. If you're a cousin of Chris Ranji.
Yeah. No, I think for a while it was because that when I was a kid, I told you that for a while I was the only kid around for many years until my aunt and uncle had my cousins.
Did you and also because yes, you talk about being the only kid around, and also how you once said you loved Michigan J. Frog, who is the singing frog from Bugs Bunny. Hello, my baby. Hello, my
the Warner Brothers frog.
Hello, my girl.
And then for like 6 or 7 straight years, that's all I got for Christmas because I just dropped one time that I thought I liked that frog.
All you got was Michigan J. Frog paraphernalia.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty good. We
That's what it was.
We have a
Also-
poll. We have
go
a
ahead,
poll
go ahead,
up.
go ahead, Amy.
Poll up on Twitter. Chris Amy KMOX about turkey ham or other. Someone tweeted, "Not a fan of turkey. After several years of hosting turkey-only Thanksgiving, I added ham to the menu last year. Most of the family asked for a bigger ham this year.
Wow. That's a little.
I have my honey-baked ham reserved. Added a side of mac and cheese to go better with the ham.
So the family is demanding a bigger ham?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. That's a sign of a successful ham. What you don't want is a family demanding a smaller ham. Hey, Bob, you don't need to get so much ham.
Oh, so we have now from the text line,
Yeah.
we have some clarification.
Okay.
They meant pre-Hispanic Mexican food, which I'm
Hispanic?
not really sure what pre-Hispanic Mexican food is.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I haven't either. But anyway, that's what they say. Yeah.
We need further
also,
clarification. Yeah.
We need even more clarification. Please clarify the clarification.
Mhm.
I missed this during the news, but I guess they said this because a texter says,
Yeah.
please talk about your news report that they are going to put pics of erectile dysfunction on packs of cigarettes. It will make Chris feel better.
What?
I don't.
That was in the news.
Was it? I didn't hear that.
I did not hear
Go
that.
ask Michael Calhoun.
So wait. Okay. A picture of erectile dysfunction would be a you-know-what pic
Yeah, it would have to be.
on the cigarette package. I
Uh-huh.
don't think you can do that. Can you?
I don't think so. maybe they meant a warning.
Maybe they'll have a
Surgeon
little
General
wilted
warning?
flower or something like a.
Yeah, but I don't know. Go ask Michael Calhoun if he brought that up during the news because I didn't hear that.
I missed that.
But I tell you what, it does oddly make me feel a whole lot better. just if that's what they put on the cigarette.
You know what? It's so
packages.
true, though. It doesn't matter. It does not matter that you can say on the cigarettes, this will kill you. This causes cancer. Everyone's like, whatever. And then in Europe, half the package says you are killing other people. People don't care. It literally says you're killing the person next to you. People still buy it. Lots of smokers in Europe. But if they do an ED pick on the cigarette package,
Oh my gosh.
then
This
maybe that will work because I think that would be more motivating.
Here's a message from a listener. At this rate, it's pre-Earth Hispanic food. So we have no idea what that texter means.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Anyway,
Oh my gosh. Another message says prehistoric Mexican food sounded way more intriguing. You're right. And they say they're disappointed because that's what I wanted to know. Oh.
keep your text messages coming at 314-436-7900.
This message says I'm totally eating asteroids this year for Christmas. What? All right, look. I'm dying our friend.